我要谈的，它有2个证据。
I'm talking about that there are 2 evidence.
第一个就是《华严经》里头的佛。
We are talking about the Buddha in the Huayan Sutra.
站在北传佛教的立场
From the
大乘佛教
in the Mahayana point of view,
大乘佛教的经典全部都以释迦牟尼佛为本师。
if you read the sutra in Mahayana, they all based on the Sakyamuni Buddha, what is the doctrine based on that.
但是《华严经》是以毗卢遮那佛为本师。
But the Huayan Sutra, the Buddha is not Sakyamuni Buddha, is the Nirvana Buddha.
那《华严经》以后所发展的大乘佛教叫密教。
So the Mahayana developed from that point on was most of this is in the esoteric sections.
所有的密教经典都以毗卢遮那佛为本师。
As you know that all those esoteric sutra, they are based on the Nirvana as the Buddha.
那这一点很多密法的人分不清楚。
But a lot of people who study esoteric cannot tell or not very clearly on the difference between those 2.
换句话说，从《华严经》以后，那么才展开密教。
We can say that the esoteric was developed right after the Huayan Sutra formed.
所以《华严经》是一切密教的根本经典。
So I'm saying that here that the Huayan Sutra is the basic sutra for all the esoterics studied subsequently.
至于《华严经》的经典里头有哪些是属于密教的修法？
How many sections in the Huayan Sutra it really belong to the practice of esoterics?
那这个也不是我们现在所能讲的。
It's hard for us to describe that right here.
这个6个学分就好了。
It takes about 6 great hours to do that. Very, very good.
第2个证据，
The second evidence,
第2个证据要讲的是华严的密法为什么会影响到全中国。
we like to say, well, the second evidence is why the Huayan Sutra will affect the entire China.
因为华严密法首先把观世音菩萨列为主尊，取代了佛。
Because in the Huayan esoteric, the first time they are using 观世音菩萨 as called the main 主尊 the main statue.
因为在唐朝武则天时代
In the Tang Dynasty, 武则天 era,
在这个时代里有一位伟大的修行人
in the 武则天 era, there's a great practitioner.
他就是华严中的第3代祖师
It's the third patriarch of the Huayan school,
法藏大师。
the Huazang master.
法藏大师修密法，
The Huazang master, his main practice is esoteric.
他的密法，他的佛法是华严3圣。
And at that time, they established the 3 sage.
是以毗卢遮那佛为中尊。
The 3 sages in the Huayan school, they're using 3. One, the 3 Buddha Bodhisattva.
但是他在修密法的时候，是以11面观音为主尊。
However, that in his cultivation practice,
换句话，
he using 11 faith Avalokitesthava. We call it 观世音观世音。
换句话说，他是用观世音菩萨来取代毗卢遮那佛。
So he used the Avalokitesthava Bodhisattva to replace the Nirvana.
那么 文殊普贤菩萨没变。
So, and then you have the Pushen Bodhisattva and Wandasri Bodhisattva.
这一个变化有着很大的影响。
Their change have a great influence.
使得观世音菩萨的地位超越了所有菩萨的地位。
To allow the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, his status is above all the others Bodhisattva.
而有可以取代佛的地位的这种取向。
Also have a tendency of replace so-called Buddha.
这个部分呢，在石窟的研究里面呢，还有着许许多多的实质性证据。
So there you can find a lot of evidence in this cave.
这个部分我们现在没办法详细跟各位讲。
There's another thing that we cannot share with you today.
假如各位有兴趣，我们欢迎您到西安来。
If any of you interested in the topic, we welcome you to come to Xi'an.
我们在西安的陕西师范大学里有成立了一个华严研究所。
We just create or formed a Huayan graduate school or research center in Shanxi Normal University.
这个研究所我们有田野调查。
In this graduate school, we have called field study.
他专门在石窟研究华严密法。
And basically, this team is concentrated in the study of the statues in the caves.
假如有时间有机会，欢迎各位一起来参加旅行。
If everybody have time and want to do some research, we welcome you to join our research team.
假如愿意，也可以来共同研究。
Yeah, we can work together. If you have time, you will join us.
我们是欢迎各位的。
We welcome you.
这一个观世音菩萨取代毗卢遮那佛的修法。
The practice of use the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva to substitute the Vivekananda.
从唐朝的京城国师开始发起。
He started it from the national teacher and started up and from that point on.
因为法藏大师是武则天的国师。
Because the Huazang master, he is the national teacher to the Empress Wu Zetian.
而武则天又是非常崇信佛教的一位唯一的女皇帝。
The Empress Wu Zetian also, she is a firm believer of the Buddhism at the time.
所以当时的观世音菩萨信仰开始风靡全中国。
So the belief of Avalokitesvara started popular in China.
事实上，在武则天的时代，
As a matter of fact, in the era of the Wu Zetian,
浙江的普陀山还没有正式繁荣起来。
you say that one of the Avalokitesvara called the mountain, Puto Mountain in Zhejiang province.
那么，自从观世音菩萨信仰普及以后，
After the Avalokitesvara belief getting popular,
普陀山逐渐的变成观世音菩萨的重要道场。
so Mount Puto gradually became a very important place.
它影响所及，整个亚洲都是观世音菩萨的信徒。
So you can see that from that point on, the Avalokitesvara belief became very popular, not only spread in China, but also spread to the entire Asia.
这个就是华严密法它的影响。
So you can say that it also the influence of the Huayan esoteric.
假如各位要研究，
If everybody want to study and researching this topic,
中国密法的历史跟演变，
the history of the esoteric and how they developed.
那各位从观世音菩萨信仰的普及来研究的话，你将会改变这个佛教史上的很多论点。
So you might study from this Avalokitesava belief, and you might alter quite a bit of a viewpoint in Chinese traditional Buddhism.
譬如第一个，唐朝以后各宗派都灭亡了，只剩下禅宗跟净土宗。
Some may say that after Tang Dynasty, most of the school has been destroyed, except Chan and Pure Land.
事实上，密法是存在的。
However, the esoteric, in fact, are still in existence.
那有人说，会昌5年，就是西元805年。
So in the year of 805 AD, there is a disaster in Buddhism called Hui Chang, and the emperor tried to eradicate the Buddhism.
唐朝皇帝毁佛以后，密法就被消灭了。
Right after this event, the Hui Chang event, and they say that the esoteric is gone underground.
那这个论点呢，也可以推翻了。
Excuse me. They say that after the Hui Chang, the esoteric was totally destroyed. So you can overturn that viewpoint.
第三个部分
Third section.
那么所有的学者专家，几乎所有的学者专家都认为密法它必须有一定的仪式。
All the scholar or expert, they're all thinking about to study or to practice esoteric, you must have certain ritual.
譬如传法灌顶
like the 传法 mean the linkage empowerment.
像西藏的密法这样的传法灌顶
like the way the linkage empowerment in Tibetan school or practice.
或者转世投胎
or like you have to 转世起来 okay, that's done. So that means that you could go to another, just continue life into another form.
那这个部分呢，你在这个研究中可以完全推翻。
But in the study of this, you can totally overturn that concept.
因为中国密法非常普及。
Because in Chinese, the esoteric is very popular.
在一般的民间生活里普遍的存在。
It exists in the called the daily life in the general public.
一直到现在，不但没有中断，反而非常的兴盛。
Until today, that esoteric not only not been destroyed, but still continue to prosper.
所以这个主题事实上是非常好研究的。
So this topic should be very easy to do research.
那中国密法它本身还有很多的法本跟仪轨。
The Chinese esoteric, they have a lot of, we call that the ritual or the book to follow, practice book.
这些东西现在大部分都保存在台湾。
That we kept a lot of those in Taiwan.
大陆这20年来在复兴佛教。
In China, in the past 20 years, they try to revitalize the Buddhism.
这些密法的仪轨跟法本，我们逐渐的再送回中国大陆。
So we just send back this called Dharma book of the esoteric back to China.
所以中国的密法是一直非常有活力的存在这个历史上。
So the Chinese or the esoteric really continue very vividly in China.
我们现在要回过头来跟各位讲说，透过密法的修行跟训练，如何去体验内在生命的存在。
What I'd like to share now is how you use an esoteric practice to test the internal life experience.
我们前面讲过有两个方法，一个是禅的方法，一个是密的方法。
We say at the beginning that there are two methodology or two ways to reach this experience of internal life. One is Chan, one is esoteric.
禅的方法就是止住妄想。
The Chan methodology is stop all the movement
自心一处，
and put your mind in one place.
它有倾向唯心论的倾向。
So it just kind of lean over its mind only theory.
它完全不需要依靠外在的情境，
It doesn't rely on any outside world's phenomena.
所以很多人修禅修了很久，那就很惨了。
So a lot of people practice Chan for a long period of time but didn't get anywhere
因为他抓不到重点，
because he doesn't know what is the main point.
所以长时间一直没有进步。
So in the practice, he got nowhere.
他必须要有人指导。
So he needs directive from the teacher, instructor.
那么用密的修法跟禅的修法是完全不一样。
The cultivation using the esoteric methodology is totally different from using the Chan methodology.
密的修法有一定的步骤，
There were certain steps to follow.
有一定的规则，
There were certain rules to follow.
有一定的媒介。
There are certain media to use.
那它有三个东西非常重要。
There are three things very important.
第一个要法本，
Number one, you have the Dharma book, which is in the ritual procedure.
要法本要让你按照它的规则去做思维。
So the book will lead you in your mind thinking.
第二个，它要有坛城。
Number two, you have to have mandala.
这坛城呢，让你眼睛看得清楚。
The mandala is the setup of the altar. Okay, so allow you to visible see it what's in there.
你的思维要依据法本运作。
So your thinking pattern, you have to follow the Dharma ritual book.
那么需要坛城做指导。
So you using the mandala, which is the arrangement of the altar, to do your thinking pattern instruction.
要把法本的思维跟坛城的境界相结合。
So basically, you have to combine the thinking pattern of the ritual book along with the phenomenon of the thing that you put together in the altar. You have to combine and watch them together.
这个要怎么进行呢？
But how do we do that?
你就需要有善知识的指导。
So you need the instructor or the teacher to teach you.
这个善知识啊，在密法里有一个名词，
Those teachers we call, there is one special title in esoteric.
它叫做金刚上师。
We call that a diamond Sansi is the Acharya or Asari. Jingang Asari means that the diamond teacher.
那么第三个呢，是密法最大的特色。
The third one is the most important character in the esoteric.
就是他要用音声。
You have to use the voice or the sound.
它是透过声音来推动生命的成长。
So they use the sound of voice to push your life to grow.
这个在理论界还没有人去探讨这个问题。
So in academia, they have do such research.
我要跟各位谈的是理论界还没有人探讨。
I'm going to say that nobody study from a theoretical point of view.
在修行者本身，他是这样在运用。
But from the practitioner themselves, they are using the sound and use those as the cultivation methodology.
我们感到遗憾的，
We feel regret is
就是修行者会修，
that the practitioner, he know how to do it,
他不会教，
but he don't know how to teach.
他不知道它的重要性。
He doesn't know how important those use the sound to practice.
因 因为这个修行自古以来一直这样。
Because that since ancient time they always this way.
视为是当然的。
You think that as the kind of nature occur.
但是我们发现，
But we finding out that
在唐朝这个时代战乱以后
in Tang Dynasty after the war or instability,
古代的发音技巧已经消失了。
all the technique of how to generate a special sound, that technique already gone. Nobody know how to do it.
所有的密法修行
All this cultivation of practice in esoteric
都跟着师父学。
is followed by, or is always learned from your acharya.
师父对不对，徒弟也不知道。
Whether or not your acharya right or wrong, the disciple wouldn't be aware, wouldn't be able to tell.
师父本身也不知道对不对。
Even the acharya himself, he may not be aware whether or not his methodology is right.
因为音声这个东西，假如没有碰到声乐的大师他很容易会走掉了。
Especially in those called the sound practice. If you don't have people who really know what to do or how those sound creation, the technique, a lot of time you can lose the track.
那这个你讲，
You will deviate from the truth.
这个系统目前在西藏这个部分还保存得相当好。
We believe that the sound kept very well in Tibet.
不过这些喇嘛们离开西藏以后
However, those Lama who's in Tibet, once left the Tibet,
年轻的这一代喇嘛就不行了。
so the young generation of the Lama, they may not be able to catch up.
因为他们已经离开他们的地理跟历史气候的文化背景。
Because people left Tibet, they also left their climate, their culture, their geographic location, which is they stay away from their origin.
这部分他们也将跟中国内地一样的消失掉。
So from that standpoint of view, that sound practice can also disappear very quickly, just like a lot of those in mainland China. We lost that.
再过20年，你将听不到那些持咒的声音。
Maybe 20 years from now, you may not be able to hear again how this mantra chanting anymore.
但是我们也感到很庆幸，
But we also feel lucky enough,
因为在华严中的文献记载里有这些理论。
because we find that in the Hawaiian literature, they all recorded such sounds, which is all this practice in the technology or the skill of sutra.
可是那些发音技巧发现了这样的一个秘密。
However, that I did find that the secret in some of the primitives, the good people,
也就是这些少数民族中，他们有天然的那个发音的能力。
in this group people, they still maintain such ability, how to generate such sound and voice.
依据我个人的判断，
According to my personal judgment,
很遗憾的是，我不会唱歌。
I say that I don't know how to sing.
我应该要说，不是我不会唱歌，
I should say that. No, I shouldn't say that I don't know how to sing,
因为我从来没唱过歌。
because I never sing before.
但是我发觉，人类的发音应该可以发到300个音到400个音。
But I know that human, we can make about 300 to 400 different sounds.
现在全世界各民族的基本发音只有20几个到50几个音。
But now, in modern days, that we only can generally create maybe 30 to 30到几组
英文只有26个音。
26 to about 50 or 60 sounds.
大概到57个音左右。
50 sounds.
大概最多不会超过57个音。
So maybe 57 particular sounds. That's what we can produce.
那我们人类的发音能力就萎缩了很多。
That means that shrinking the ability of how we generate those particular sounds.
但是原住民的发音还保存着有100-200个音。
But quite a bit of the people, I call that primitive group, and they still maintain a couple hundred of those different sounds.
而且原住民的这些少数民族的音域非常的宽。
So also that this minority group, they have very wide range of this song.
人类基本的音域大概在100到300之间。
So basically we're talking about that for human we have 100 to 300 of the different songs.
那男高音大概到600个。
600个什么？
那个叫什么？频率。
We're talking about different the frequency. The higher frequency can go pretty high.
男低音最低大概到50。
So it might be that the lower might go down to 50 or some hertz.
我是用我的判断。
It's just my judgment, because they have wide range of those called the tone.
我相信相差不远。
So when I'm talking here, that my judgment is not too far from the reality.
假如你要用声乐家的标准来看我讲的，当然差距会有一些。
But if you're talking from a musician point of view, my way of expression might have a little bit of a different.
不过我想基本上差不了多少。
But basically, that's what I'm talking about. It's not much difference.
但是原住民的音域可以达到4000。
However, that for some of the primitive people, that their high, which is on the higher tune, they can go up to pretty high. Is it 4,000 hertz?
我讲4000的原因是从600起算，大概6倍到7倍。
We're talking about relative term. If we only can up to say 600 hertz, but they can go up to 4,000 hertz. So that kind of a tune, they can go up pretty high.
那么像喇嘛们持咒的声音，最低可以低到50以下。
Like the chanting from those lama can also go down to probably below to 50 hertz.
而事实上呢，人类的音域可以发挥得更广。
However, the sound, the frequency range of the human can also be eaten.
我们发音的声音是叫做无音之声。
So what we try to do here is that we try to have the sound, but there's no voice.
或者叫无声之音。
Also, the voice without a sound.
那些声音是你的耳朵听不到的。
So those sound or voice could not be catched by your ear.
它的低音可以低到10分贝。
So the lower can go down to about 10 decibel.
那么高音可以高到10000以上。
The higher one can go beyond 10,000 decibel.
那我们就没有办法去测量它。
No, we cannot measure that because it's beyond the instrumentation.
那么这些声音呢，它的重点是在你在持咒的时候要找到一个音的标准。
However, the main point is when you do the mantra chanting, okay, everybody know the mantra chanting? When you do the mantra chanting, you have to search one of the frequency.
这个标准音在华严里头叫做字母。
It's called the standard, and in the Hawaiian esoteric, we call the alphabet.
当你把这个字母的音确定以后，那你的咒语就可以展开。
Okay, now when you start do the chanting, when you lock in one of the alphabet as your basic tune, then when you certain that you lock in the particular alphabet in certain tune, then you can from that point to develop in the mantra chanting.
那这个要怎么训练呢？
So how to do the training?
事实上，我们要透过耳根圆通的训练。
And we also need to train those via through your ear sensor. your ear sensory training.
那么今年的东安居，也就是11月16号以后，到明年的2月15号以前，那我们有3个月的这种训练。
We in our monastery, we have the so-called the summer retreat and winter retreat. And this winter retreat lets you study from November 16 to February 15, 3 months retreat. And we will do such training.
假如各位喜欢的话，也可以来参加。
If everybody here would like to accept such training, you're welcome to join us.
这3个月你大概只能学到理论。
However, in the next 3 months, all you can learn is the theory, how to practice this.
跟实际的发音训练跟听力是那个训练。
So there are 2 step training. One is to generate the sound, the voice. The second thing is train how to hear that voice, how to sensing that voice.
能不能成功呢？
Can that be successful?
这3个月不能成功。
No, it cannot be done in 3 months.
回来你要训练3年。
So you might take about 3 years to practice it.
我们再做考试。
So and then we will have a test on that.
这个是透过声音来推动你的心力。
So this is the methodology of using the sound to push your mind, the power of your mind.
你的心力就是脑筋循着法本跟坛城相融合。
So basically, to use your mind to focus on called the Dharma ritual book, also to combine with the altar of the mandala, bind them together.
因为一般人在做这种训练的时候，就已经是心力憔悴。
However, quite a few people does not have enough of the energy to do such practice.
那你的生命要怎么成长呢？
So you have to elevate your energy level.
因此你嘴巴控制。
So you have to basically shut your mouth.
那么透过你的喉咙来发音。
And excuse me, 你的嘴巴控制。
对啊，控制吗？没事啊，你脑筋跟眼睛在忙啊。
Oh, okay. That means that you only busy on your mind and your eye vision on the mandala. Your mind is on the ritual Dharma book. Your mind is basically not using your throat to generate the sound.
那么它还有第3种训练，就是喉咙的发音跟字母要合一。
Okay, the third training here is to use your sound from your throat to combine with so-called the alphabet, how you like that tune all together.
那这个时候声音会推动你的生命成长。
So the sound is a source of the energy which is to push the growth of your life, internal life.
这个成长会使我们从凡夫转变成圣人。
The growth we're talking about here is to transform you from the ordinary people into a sage.
所以我们把这样的修行叫做生命的改造工程。
So we call this one strictly, we call that a modification of the life.
它是一项大工程。
It's a big project or task.
是人类中最伟大、最精密的工程。
We think that is the most grateful in your life, which is do your life transformation.
它绝对比 NASA 的太空工程更精密。
We think that is much greater than what the NASA the space program.
修行人之所以殊胜，就是这个原因。
And that's what the grateful as a practitioner is in this aspect.
各位要不要试一试？
Everybody want to join us?
大家一起来进行生命的改造工程。
We should all join together to do a modification of our life, how we transform our internal life.
修行在过去影响着人类的主要发展。
So the cultivation in the past had a tremendous impact on the development of the human life.
所以在整个亚洲最优秀的青年们全部投入修行。
So in Asia, most of the top of the craft in the society, they went to this practice.
我们相信未来的3000年， 美洲的优秀青年也会投入修行。
We believe that in the next 3,000 years, the top cream, the most qualified people in North America will also work in this practice.
各位要不要做这个第一批美洲的优秀青年？
I encourage everybody here to be the first pioneer in North America working towards practice to reform your life.
把自己的生命从凡夫改造成圣人。
To transform your own life from ordinary being into a sage.
你将会超越一切。
You will surpass everything.
成为万王之王。
Become a king of the king.
智者中的智者。
The wise man among the wise men.
不要一直看着我。
Don't just look at me.
要想一想。
Thinking about it.
那个这个理论，我简单的跟各位介绍到这里。
Okay.
它是非常殊胜的一项礼物，送给各位。
Because time is up, so I just like to share with you as a gift for everybody here. 这样就是时间到了。
时间到了 ，OK。
OK， 要是假如有问题的话，可以问。
各位，假如你时间到了要忙你的事，可以去忙，不要紧。那有问题要问的，可以留下来问。
Yeah, everybody, if you have some stuff, you have to go take care of that. Please, free to do so. If you got a question, I'm happy to stay here in a little bit while to share with everybody.
I should also say, after this, we're going to go to Chow Bar on Indiana.
For people that don't know how to do the chanting and that have to stay here and we can't go to the retreat, what practices can we do if we don't know how to do this? If we don't have a mandala, what kind of meditation or
Okay.
do you recommend?
说我们这边有的人不懂怎么来持咒，怎么样来看坛城，是不是要留下来？你们要给我们指导一下。
这个比较麻烦了。
It take time, like the mantra chanting. That take time to do correctly. You talking about mantra chanting?
Like other practices like meditation?
Yeah, meditation. Yeah, 像个禅定。Yeah. To do a detail or just brief this to show you how? And probably just repeat your question so I can precisely answer.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if what other practices we can do if we can't go to the monastery and learn how to do the chanting.
他说还有没有其他的，就是我们到这个还有没有其他的方法？因为 besides the chant and the esoteric, besides those.
大概我们是区分这两个方法，所有的方法都在这两个方法里面。
Okay, we categorize into two major. The others practice really fall into those two major ones. The the way fall into those.
比如在中国有所谓净土
Like in China, you might talking about the Pure Land practice.
净土的念佛法门
chanting the name of the Buddha.
在念佛法门可以用禅的方法来念。
For instance, in chanting of the name of the Buddha can be either by Chen methodology or Chan methodology, Zen methodology, or
也可以用密的方法来念。
esoteric methodology. So technically, you only got two main methods. The rest of that would be a derivative of the two majors. People might say different, but in our view, we classify into those two major.
所有的方法都是在感受内在的体验。
All the methodology is to allow you to have the feeling of your internal life.
你现在所有的方法也必须要有这个体验。
So, doesn't matter which technique you use. Basically, it's to lead you to have the feeling of try to find the inner life, to get a feeling on how those inner life all about.
假如你不用现在既有的方法也可以。
If you don't use what the methodology you're using is also fine.
我们看到很多科学家
We saw a lot of scientists.
他们在做研究的时候其实就是一种修行。
When they do the study or concentrate on their work, in a way, this is also we call a practice.
其实他用的方法是禅的方法。
The methodology that they concentrate in their performance and work. That is the Chan. We can call them as the Chan's methodology because they focus in one.
我们看到很多企业家，
We saw a lot of those like entrepreneurs.
他们在经营企业，其实也是在修行。
The way they're managing their business, it's just like their practice Chan. It also can be called practice.
而他那种修行其实是密法的修行。
However, in this we call it esoteric practice.
所以我们不一定按照古人的方法。
So not necessarily we have followed strictly what the ancient patriot what they done in the past.
那我们看你所用的方法有没有内在的体验。
All we're looking at is to examine whether or not you are really working toward so-called feeling, try to search to internal life.
只要能够引发你内在生命的体验，我们都认为是在修行。
As long as what the work you perform now is try to trickle ignite that the internal life feeling, how you to feel the internal life, and that's also we call that the practice.
OK，
How do you get the measurements of the range of the vocal capabilities of this ethnic group? Was there a study done, or was there
The range of the what kind of ethnic group?
I mentioned the ethnic group that could go from 50 hertz to 4,000 hertz. Was there a study done?
他在问哈，但是我们讲说原始民族的这个声音很高跟很低，我们是用仪器去量呢，还是怎么样？
你自己可以感受得到。
You can hear from your ear.
当然用仪器也可以测量。
You can measure by the instrumentation like audible decibel in instrument. Yeah, you can do that.
我去参观过，但是我没有用仪器量。
We visit quite a few of those groups, and we heard what the singing they performed, and we could tell that the high or low, the tone pretty high. Some of the high decibel, very, very high. Some you can't even hear, because it goes below some certain level, you cannot hear. And some of them very, very low, so that the low might be 20 decibel.
我在台湾经历了3个少数民族的音声。
I've seen that or had the experience of 3 different primitive group people in Taiwan. Yeah.
在大陆经历了7个民族的声音。
Also, I have met 7 different primitive or ethnic group in China.
我们这一次到新墨西哥州，
This time we went to New Mexico,
那里的
nation.
印第安民族，那个声音也是。
We also think that some of their chanting also in that range.
但是这些声音因为都是从喉咙发音，
Because most of those sound originated from the throat.
我们套用蒙古的一个喉咙发音的名词。
In Mongolian, they have one of special terminology for such kind of singing.
这个名词叫做呼麦。
They call humei.
所以我们把这些发音的技巧统称为呼麦。
So we call those special technique on the sound generating, we using that term as humei.
其实透过这些声音的训练，我们要达到真正的无音。
We try to build such training to reach a stage that we do not have using the sound itself.
这个就是我们生命的原因。
So we call that the original voice or sound of human or of the life.
透过这个声音的训练，
Build the training of such sound.
让声波可以无限扩大。
So allow the wave of the sound to expand.
它可以融合光波。
So it can merge with the light spectrum.
因此，你可以用眼睛用耳朵可以看到物体。
So basically, it say that by training that your hearing sensor, eventually you can catch the wave by your ear. Not only the sound wave, but also can extend that to this like a light wave.
甚至于香味，
That's it?
香味，
Okay. also such the smell.
就是我们的六个感官
The 6 senses.
都可以透过耳朵来达到接受的目的。
All the sensing subjects can be sensed by all 6 senses, can also be sensed by your ear.
这个用大脑来讲，叫做神秘的神通。
Use the brain to think about that, it might cause mysterious transcendent power.
事实上，透过训练是可以做得到的。
But via training, you can arrive at.
但是这个不是我们的目标。
But that's not the end of what we work toward that.
我们透过这个训练是要让生命成长。
The training we have, we just try to grow our life.
而达到解脱的目标。
Reach the point that can reach the liberation.
我们目的是要指导大家怎么解脱。
So the purpose of us, we try to teach everybody how to obtain the liberation.
假如您解脱以后想要玩这些神通，那没有关系。
Only until you really achieved the whole liberation, then you can really use this so-called the transcendental power.
不过还没解脱之前，不要玩神通。
But we never really working on transcendental power until you reach the level of liberation.
它很迷人。
It's very attractive.
它会害人。
However, that it also attract.
OK.
Maybe we better stop there.
Okay.
Thanks, And so I hope that he will return to Indiana University in the future. I will welcome him in my absence. Anyway, and I'll repeat the invitation. If you can come to lunch with us at the Chow Bar, you're very welcome, and we can continue the conversation there.
再欢迎我们来一起参加早餐，我们可以继续商谈。